Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Being on Stage, the only podcast that gives you motivation, inspiration, and confidence to be better on stage. No matter how you entertain, sing, dance, band, comedian, public speaking, MC, drag, burlesque, performance art, or street performer, this is the show for you. Hey, rock stars! Welcome back to the Being on Stage podcast. We are day 31 of podcasting every day, and this rounds out the month of July, in which I did a podcast every day of the month. This episode, just to give you kind of a heads up, I'm just kind of talking about some of the things I learned and some of the things that you could learn too just by doing something every day, and kind of give you some insight into why you should try it. Doing something every day in pursuit of your passion, your performing, in pursuit of your art, really, and your dreams. So again, my name is Reggie Dawson. I coach performers to turn their talent into an experience for their audience, give them that connection, give them that energy that they crave and the reason that people go out to performances and live shows of all types. And yeah, so let's get into it. So during the month of July, if you're just tuning in, during the month of July, I did a podcast. I've already said this, but I'll say it again. Did a podcast every single day. I actually did one day, I think July 2nd or 3rd, I did a podcast twice in a day. So I'm actually 32 episodes in a month, which, all right, overachiever. What? But I learned a lot, and I got to tell you, at the beginning of the month, and you can go back, if you listen to July 1st, it's called Do It Every Day. It's 32 episodes ago. I think that you could hear it, that I was unsure and I lacked a little bit of confidence, and I was a little worried even that I wouldn't make it. Because I'll tell you, in the past, I didn't do it every day. There were days where I would just have, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I procrastinated my podcast. Just like I used to procrastinate. Just like I used to procrastinate getting ready for a show, you know. I got to make this outfit. I'll do it tomorrow. There's a show on. I'm hanging out with the wife and the kid. I mean, not that you shouldn't hang out with your family, but, you know, this was hanging out with the wife and kid at night after we spent the entire day together. You know, I want to play this video game and all sorts of things. And I talked about distractions yesterday. And so that's a lot of, I mean, yesterday's episode really leads into today's, because I just got distracted last night. So even after 30 days, after developing this habit of doing it every day, you still get distracted. So one of the first lessons I learned after like the first week or so was it's not as hard as we make it out to be in our heads. And that's true for a lot of things. You could have this incredible vision for a performance that you want to put together. I can't talk today, man. You could have an idea of this incredible performance that you could put together, and just, you know, through doubt and through worry and through fear, you procrastinate it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll handle it tomorrow. Or, you know, and eventually you end up dumbing it down or scratching the idea out altogether. Or you dumb it way down into, it's not that big of a deal. I'll do it tomorrow. I can take this off and it'll be okay. And we start sacrificing our vision for our distraction. And what I learned is, if you actually make that commitment to yourself, and I mean, hell, if you need someone to hold you accountable, you can make that commitment to me. I'll hold you accountable. I'll check in with you every couple of days and see what's up. But if you make that commitment, it becomes easier to do. After the first few days, it becomes a part of you. It becomes like, I got to do this. I got a podcast. I got to make that outfit. I got to rehearse. It becomes a part of you. And although sometimes you may get to it at literally 11:15 at night, hence was my July 30th episode, by the way, even if you may get to it till 11:15 at night, you still make it a point to get to it because it's a commitment, and that follow-through is valuable to you. Because I've said this before, and I think I've even said it during this month, a commitment to yourself is sacred. I think I actually just said that last night. I'm not even 12 oh my God. I'm not even 12 hours from my last episode, and you can probably hear, I've got tongue-tied Oh my god. I got tongue tied like 4 times now. You got to laugh at yourself. That's the other thing I learned is you got to laugh at yourself, because there are times in this podcast, if you go back and listen, where I go off, I kind of get off topic, and then I come back in a strange way. And I don't edit my podcast. I believe it loses some authenticity. I used to edit my podcast until like episode 112 or something like that. Yeah, I stopped. I used to listen to the whole episode, editing out parts I didn't like, changing it, tweaking it, and I stopped because I want to be authentic with you. I want you to hear that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes just like you. I'm not some guy speaking into a microphone that knows everything. I'm some guy speaking into a microphone that has a passion for helping you get to do everything that you want to do as a performer. That's who I am. And I think this last month really helped me see that. I got offered a booking during the month of July, and I actually considered turning it down. Turns out I don't think I'm actually getting booked. I'm pretty sure it was just a feeler, or a way to get my attention. I don't know, but it doesn't bother me that I'm not going to get booked, because I've learned so much, and that happened just in the past 30 days. I didn't even share that on the podcast. Someone reached out to me and asked me how much I would charge for 2 shows, and I told them, I said, about $75. I'm cheap. Like I'm cheap like that. And my shows aren't long. I do 3-4 minute shows. I like $75, whatever. I don't need it. It's just something that I like to do. Is like, as long as I can make some money off of it, that's fine. But that's kind of where I'm at now. I much more prefer what I've been doing this month. I much more prefer talking to other people about how they can improve their performance. I talk about other people about how they can connect more with their audience. I like talking to other performers about what they can share on social media and how they can really get it going. And I like talking to other performers about how they can turn this thing that they do into a paycheck and get paid. And you can do it too. Listen, if you're just tuning in and this is your first episode, you can do that. You can pursue your passion. You can get paid for the thing that you want to do in front of people, no matter what it is. Sing, dance, play an instrument, juggle, stand on your head and spin while you juggle swords with your feet. You could be a mime, a magician, a comedian, a speaker, whatever it is you do on stage. You can turn that into, your thing. You can bring that out of you and put it in front of an audience and actually, get paid and move up and grow, and eventually that can be your life. That thing that you want to do, that you can do it. 100% you can do it. You can't doubt yourself. You gotta throw out the doubt. Throw out the doubt. Sounds like a 90s rap. Throw out the doubt. That's another lesson in the past 31 days is, there were days when I doubted. I had doubt. I didn't know if I could do this. I had no idea what to talk about. And sometimes it's going to happen. We have no idea what to rehearse. You have no idea what notes to play, what songs to sing, what part of your routine to work on. You have no idea. And I think when you actually sit down and you just start, it will come to you. And that's how it happened for me. There were a lot of days where I sat down in this chair and I flipped this microphone on and I just let it record for 1 to 2 minutes of just silence, because I needed to just start. And as soon as I said hey rock stars, it's Reggie Dawson, your host of the Being on Stage podcast. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. As soon as I got through all that, which I know I say the same thing at the beginning of every episode, and it does start to feel kind of mundane after a while, but I don't know. It feels right. But by the time I get through it, it comes to me. I'm there. I'm started. I have to go. And the same thing with you. So pick something that you're going to do at the start of every single rehearsal. Every time you start working on your show, what are you going to do to kick off that session? Once you establish that, it's going to become easier to just start, because as soon as you sit down, that sequence is what you're going to do first. Mine is the introduction to my pod. I sit down, I open the computer, I shut everything down except for this recording software, because I need to be able to run it properly and let it pick up everything, so everything else has to be closed. And then I press record. I wait 28 seconds until my intro is over, and I start with my intro. I have the same sequence that I do every time I sit down to podcast. And when I used to perform, every time I was getting ready to perform, I had the same sequence of what I would do. I would walk into the bar. I would not say anything to anybody. I would walk directly into the dressing area or wherever you were keeping your belongings. I walk directly into the dressing area. I would set everything out. I would pull the clothes out that I'm going to wear, set them out, get them ready. And then I would immediately go to the, I went to the bar. I would immediately go to the bar and I would have a beer. Then I would proceed to say hi to everybody. And then after I mingled for about 15, 20 minutes while I sipped on my beer, I would go backstage with approximately half a beer, and I would listen to Lose Yourself by Eminem. And I would really get into it in the mirror. I would just really get into it because that was a song that amped me up and got me ready. I had the same sequence I did every single time I performed. When I rehearsed, I didn't have a sequence. But I can tell you after this month, I can tell you without a doubt, one of the reasons that I procrastinated my rehearsing and one of the reasons I kept putting things off till tomorrow is because I didn't have a routine. I didn't have something that I would do every single day to get me into rehearsal. Some people, dancers, you guys stretch, right? You usually have to stretch or go for a run or something like that to get ready for your rehearsal. You know, a lot of people do have something to get them into their rehearsal. If you don't, that can be what's holding you back from doing something every day. Oh, I just came full circle. Did you witness this episode, how we started with do it every day and now we're ending with do it every day? Sorry, I get a kick out of myself sometimes. But some of the reasons that you procrastinate is because you don't have that thing that you do to get you ready. And if you have something that you do, if you just start that, the rest of your rehearsal, the rest of your practice, the rest of your, video, it will just happen. I'm serious. Try it. But first, get a routine. I have a routine for my podcast. I had a routine for my performances. I did skip the routine for rehearsals. And I was one of those people, guys. I was one of those people that I'll do it tomorrow. I'll wait. It can wait. It's not important today. This video is really important, though. This phone scrolling is really important, though. You know, we do get distracted. And you got to have the routine that you can just start. It's easier. It is so much easier if you have something that just gets you going. It can be a song. It can be a stretch. It could be... it can be a shower. For some people, they got to take a shower. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know why you take a shower before you rehearse, but that's not for me to judge. You know what? Let's jump on a call together. I'd love to help you do exactly what I've been talking about. You know, I'd love to help you do that. I'd love to help you, just start, get that routine. I'd love to help you, amplify your performance, get that experience going for the audience, and, I want to build you up. So please, if you haven't done so already, and why haven't you done so already, by the way? Are you, why are you not getting help? Why? You should accept help from everywhere, and it's free. Go to my calendar, beingonstage.com/calendar. It'll load on your phone. It'll load on any device. I promise. Put in your name, put in your email, sign up for a date and time. I will even call you. Well, I'll send you an email to confirm. Personal email, by the way, not an autoresponder. I'm going to hand type this email. To prove it, I'll probably put a spelling error in it. And it'll be an error, so I can't tell you what it's going to be, but I'm sure there will be one. Listen, beingonstage.com/calendar. I'm interested in talking to you. I want to help you build your dreams, and then I want to help you go after them. Keep on shining.